Hey guys, welcome back to Human Condition. This video is another video in our astrology series, and this video is what does it mean to be a Capricorn Ascendant. This is also based on the whole house system of astrology, so yeah, it should be pretty interesting. So what does it mean to be Capricorn Ascendant? Capricorn Ascendant, this means your first house is in Capricorn. These are like the big dogs, the business leaders of the world, the successful, the reputable people of the world. So for a first house in Capricorn, these people, the first house represents your persona and how you act. People see you potentially in the world. So with the first house in Capricorn, this means people see you as very serious, responsible, and hardworking, and usually pretty reputable, meaning have a good reputation. And typically these people are seen in positions of power, and if not positions of power, very well respected individuals. The second house is in Aquarius. This means second house is your love and money and where friendships come from. Also, obviously, this is to it, but obviously there's other factors in life that impact your personality. Second house in Aquarius, this means love and money and your friend groups come from. So with the second house in Aquarius, your friend groups, this suggests love and money is in society. So your friend groups come from, you're a very outgoing person. Your friendships come from being outgoing, being humble, listening, being a good listener. And your wealth can be, this suggests potentially your wealth comes from humanitarian activities and social projects, potentially, not always. The third house is communication, intellect, what you talk and think about. So for Capricorn Ascendant, this is in Pisces. It's communication, intellect, what you talk and think about. For Capricorn Ascendant, usually what they talk and think about is in self-sacrifice and self-isolation, which sounds kind of intense, but that just means their mind's always on being empathetic and caring to people, and this is why potentially they are very well respected individuals, because if you're always empathetic and caring towards people, you're going to be usually pretty respected by people and given some sort of authority by other people or power by other people if you're always being empathetic and caring. So the perspective and what they talk and think about a lot is the needs of other people. They're potentially the only downside with this part is maybe they might talk a lot about their own problems and their struggles in life, because it builds empathy with other people. But on a positive note, they also think about other people's struggles, and they're always thinking about how they can give up their own needs for other people, self-sacrifice and or they're thinking about how they can either do that or hide away from other people, so because they would get overburdened by all the responsibilities they take on for others, most likely, potentially, because of their first house being in Capricorn, if that makes sense. They take on all the responsibilities, Capricorn being responsible, so their mind's either on what they can do for others and give for them, but also how they can get away from others when things get too stressful, because they're taking on so much responsibility. Fourth house is in Aries. So this is past, home, and family and emotions, how they express their feelings. So with the Capricorn Ascendant, their past, home, and family is independence. So this suggests either two things. Potentially maybe a rough family dynamic, especially with their mom, because the moon represents mother sometimes. However, it also could just mean like competitive nature with their mother figure and their family. In the best case scenario, just a competitive nature with their family, always competing with their family members and their mom, but like a friendly but maybe like in a friendly way. So their how they express their feelings is very like when they express their feelings, they might be very fiery and very passionate, because the fourth house is also how you express your feelings. They might come from a family that's very passionate, fiery, and driven. And this is probably how they got their nature to be very career-oriented, very career-driven. Fifth house is in the Capricorn ascendant is in Taurus. Taurus represents love and money. Fifth house is one-on-one creative expression, how you express yourself to other people and how other people express themselves to you. So with Capricorn ascendant in Taurus, which represents friend group and love and money. So sometimes how they express themselves to other people is through their friend group. So often they might always be around with their group, hang out with their friend group, and they express themselves in that group. Or they might always have their group around when they're talking to new people, like their friend group around while they're meeting new people, having one-on-one expressions. And when people express, or they might express their finances as well with other people, like their finances with other people, because it represents Taurus represents money and friendships. Another thing is they might talk a lot about their friends. If their friend group's not around and they're talking to one-on-one persons, they might talk about their friends a lot. So this is also how other people express themselves to them and how they feel comfortable. So because they always express their friendships to other people, when other people express themselves to them, they feel the need they also do that as well. And other people express to them when they talk about themselves, their friends, their friend group, and are with their friend group, and their finances probably as well. The sixth house, the sign of day-to-day realities and small talk, opposite to the 12th house, which is probably one of my favorite houses. This one is dreams and desires and what the ascendant's true goals in life are. And then is the opposite house to the sixth house, which is the day-to-day realities and what you have to do, versus the sixth house, what your dreams are. In small talk. So for Capricorn's 12th house, their dreams and desires, it's in traveling, learning new things and traveling. So that means Capricorn ascendants usually have a strong desire for Sagittarius stuff, like they always want to learn, and try to learn new things and listen to new ideas and opinions from other people and travel. But sadly, the realities in the sixth house is in Gemini. So the reality is they're usually, when day-to-day life is in communication intellect. So this highly suggests someone who gets a job in communications. So like radio, a talk show host, a social networker, an Instagram, an influencer, because Capricorn being reputation, right? Gemini is social networking, communication. So their day-to-day reality highly suggests someone who potentially is a talk show host, an influencer, or just has a job where they get to communicate a lot. At least at their job, they communicate a lot. And in small talk scenarios, Gemini represents personal and communication intellect. So when they're in small talk, they'll more likely not skip small talk and talk about their own opinions, and other people will feel the desire to talk about their opinions and actually have deep, meaningful conversations, because that's what Gemini kind of represents in their small talk interactions with people. The seventh house, this is friendships and the type of people Capricorn ascendant might attract, and how they act with one-on-one people they meet, their one-on-one friends. And so it's kind of similar to the fifth house, which is, the only difference is fifth house is one-on-one self-expression. Seventh house is just not necessarily how you express yourself, but how you are with that one-on-one people and the people you attract. So a little different, kind of similar. So the seventh house is in Cancer. So because they're so responsible, Capricorn represents responsibility putting emotions beside, not lack of emotions, but being rigid sometimes, not always, being hardworking, determined, stable, respectable, epic boss, they attract people who are the exact, not like the exact opposite, so more emotional people, caring people, emotionally caring people, because they present a persona of being responsible and well put together. So obviously they would attract people who need that in their life, who want more responsibility and someone who can handle their emotions. So they attract more emotional, but on a positive note, not just emotional, but caring people. So, and in their one-on-one friendships, you can see the Capricorn will let loose, and you'll see more of their caring and emotional side and family side, which you don't naturally see in their day-to-day actions. Also, they'll attract probably very family-oriented people, and people who are very about their family. And once you get to know them, you'll understand that they're more family-oriented than business-oriented than they appear, potentially. The 8th house is also a pretty good house. All signs have their pros and cons. So, and this is a pretty cool house because this house shows where each sign struggles and where they need to grow potentially in life to achieve their dreams. So 8th house, because 8th house, 4th house, and 12th house are all linked. So to grow and achieve their desires of learning new things and traveling, right, the 12th house, the 8th house, they have to work on their 8th house struggles. And the 8th for a Capricorn ascendant, this is in Leo. So this suggests they might struggle with one-on-one communication and expressing themselves and self-confidence, because Leo represents self-confidence. And this is because Capricorn is a sign of reputation. But to maintain a good reputation, you don't always feel comfortable expressing yourself. So one struggle is that Capricorn has to go through is gaining more confidence in themselves and the ability to express oneself. Kind of similar to Taurus ascendant. However, Taurus the goal is to gain more independence and freedom because they're always in their friend group. Capricorn is more to not worry as much about how they're viewed and just to express oneself and gain more confidence, not based on how people view you, but on just who you are as a person and your own accomplishments you achieve in life, which is really wholesome. But once they achieve this, they get closer to their 12th house desires of being able to travel more and feeling more comfortable just listening to other people rather than and learning new things. They might feel more comfortable traveling and learning new things after they grow and become more comfortable expressing who they truly are, potentially. Not saying they don't always, but yeah. But every sign has their own pros and cons. So just because they might struggle with this, they have other pros like being very responsible and hardworking and determined. The 9th house is knowledge and travel. So this suggests each sign's life lesson and why they travel and when they might travel. So 9th house knowledge and travel for Sagittarius ascendant is in Virgo. So, which makes sense because the 1st, 5th, and 9th are all linked. 1st house, Capricorn, they act very reputable, responsible. 5th house, and because they act very reputable and responsible, when they're talking one-on-one, it's usually about finances and their friends. And so are other people. So through this, they learn a lot about people's careers and jobs and learn a lot from small talk. So their life lesson is learning new things through small talk, and they learn a lot about through careers. And typically when they do travel, it has something to do with their job, uh, potentially. And because usually when they're talking again, it's like about their friends and their finances. And other people, when they talk to them, express themselves, it's about their friends and their finances. So yeah, and those people become their friends as well. 10th house is reputation and how each sign is viewed. So for Capricorn, it's in Libra. Because they're very reputable in their first house, they're seen as very they're seen as very friendship, a diplomat. Their reputation is as a diplomat, as a friend, and depending on other people. But in reality, they're more independent than they appear because their fourth house is in Aries, which is competitive nature, passion, independence, and an emotion. However, they appear dependent on friends, not in a bad way, but like dependent in a good way. Caring and a diplomat and very friendly and having a very good one-on-one friendships with people. Probably also because they talk about the friends quite often, which is cool, pretty lit. So they're seen as very friendly and similar to like a Virgo ascendant who's seen as a social networker and opinionated and communicative. They're seen as a good friend and a diplomat and dependent on other, but in reality, they are, this is true. However, they're also more independent than they seem and very passionate and driven to achieve their goals. Potentially. 11th house is the sign of how someone views society and their place in society, how someone views society, how society views them, and potentially their place in society, their role in society. So with a Capricorn ascendant, it is in Scorpio. Scorpio represents infancy, death, and transformation, which sounds kind of intense, but that just means how they view society as a place where people go through struggles, but through these struggles can learn and grow. Also, Scorpio is like the most flirty sign, so they might view society as a place to flirt in, but also make deep emotional connections with other people as well. People might view them as someone who struggled quite a bit as well, and someone who can build, and someone who's maybe intimidating sometimes because of their status and their power. However, someone that they can grow from. And their role in society is to be, to struggle a lot, but to overcome these struggles and set a good example for other people that you can overcome your struggles. And that's most likely how they become well-known and reputable as a Capricorn ascendant. Also, potentially, since Scorpio is a flirty sign, they might be seen as flirty, and they see society as a place where you can flirt, but also through this flirting, gain deep emotional connections with one-on-one people. And people will probably view them the same way, potentially. And finally, their 12th house, their hidden dreams and desires and their goals. This is in Sagittarius. So because they're always so reputable and serious and hardworking, determined and responsible, they don't have a lot of time to just be free. They're always constricted. And Sagittarius is a sign of always seeking freedom. So deep down, they'd want to travel, just learn new things, just lay back and chill, just vibe. But they have no time to do that because the persona they take on is the responsible one, the hardworking one, the determined one. So the desire in life is just to lay back and chill, travel, and be a listener, and just sit back and listen and learn new things. But they feel like they can't do that. And the only way they can get past this is feeling more comfortable, confident in themselves, self-confidence, and the ability to express genuinely who they are as a person and what they want out of life. So yeah, in conclusion, Capricorns are hardworking, passionate people, and their emotions and their independence and passion that drives them. They take on their responsibilities. Their friend groups and friendships come from their societal humanitarian work, and that's how they make their finances and their friend group and meet their friend group. They talk and think a lot about not what they can desire, but how they can give up what they desire for other people, and but also how they can get away from all the struggles sometimes that they take on. Their emotional state is very passionate, and their family dynamic is maybe competitive in a good way, to gain independence and be known as a person and be well known and stand out in their family, prompting them to make a strong reputation. The fifth house, how they express themselves one-on-one with people and how people express themselves to them is with their friend groups, or about their friends and their finances, and people express their friends and finances and their friend group to them. Their small talk and day-to-day realities is in Gemini, so this represents their day-to-day realities and social networking, meeting new people, chatting it up, being opinionated, sharing their deep opinions with people, and people doing the same with them. They attract very emotionally based people, and caretakers because of their responsible nature. Their growth in life is to become maybe potentially more confident, but they're confident, and they're confident enough, just not always confident, potentially to become more confident and express themselves more. They learn a lot about people's jobs and through small talk. Their reputation is in their being friendly and charismatic and a diplomat. The role in society and how society views them, how they view society is as a place where people struggle a lot but can grow and overcome the struggles of life. And their dreams and desires is just to be free and learn new things and travel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.